So today we'll discuss about pivot table. And this is the data we have currently. So this data is all about e-commerce data. What, how the ship mode, what is the ship mode of, like whether it is standard class or first class or same day shipment, and which segment have purchased the product, and city, state, region followed by. We have the category, the product belongs to which category and subcategory. What is the sales, discount, and profit we have. Okay. So for this, I wanted to get the aggregated value. See, now I have around 9,955 rows. 9,955 rows. So in all these rows, I cannot analyze by one. Where is the New York? What is the total New York profit? What is the total South profit? Like that, I cannot analyze. Okay. So for this parallelly, I can summarize this data. So this 9,955, I can summarize into a single data. So let me draw. First, I'll show you how to draw a pivot table. Pivot table means for summarizing the data, we'll use the pivot tables. So you should go to insert. In insert, you'll have the pivot table. Okay, you'll have the pivot table. Click on the pivot table. Okay, in this pivot table. So it will ask for the what is the range of the pivot table. So you have to select this range. You have to select this range. This range is called as table one. This range is called as table one. Okay. Where you wanted to draw the pivot table. First, you have to select the range. When you click on pivot table, okay, you'll get the table range, which is this is the table range. So entire range will get selected. So you can select anywhere. You can select anywhere on the data. So anywhere you can select, and you can click on pivot table. Automatically, it will take all the data. See here, it took all the data, which is highlighting. Okay. Next, where you wanted to draw the pivot table, you wanted to draw in the same sheet, or we should create a new sheet. So if you wanted to create a new sheet, we'll go for a new worksheet. Or else, if I wanted to draw in an existing sheet, I'll just select this location where I wanted to draw. I'll select to draw the pivot table from here. So we can draw the pivot table here. So whenever you draw a pivot table, the headers, you can see the headers, right? Ship mode statement. All the headers are called as fields. Fields will be available here. This all the fields of shipment, segment, city, state, region, all the fields will be available here. Okay. So now I wanted to see the region wise what is the total profit. I'll just drag the region into rows. Rows means this one. It will be populated in rows. It will be populated in rows. So now I can see by subcategory. So if you see here, not on the region, let me see the category. So category I kept. So category in rows, it is coming in rows. I wanted to see the subcategory also. I can see the subcategory. Category, if I keep it in columns, I'll get in columns. This data, I'll get in columns because I dropped category field in columns and subcategory field. So team, okay, I'm audible. So subcategory field in rows. So now sales is what are sales, quantity, discount? What type of data it is? Team, what type of data this sales, quantity, discount, and profit?
Value.
Values,
Yeah,
metrics. These are all dimensions. So these are all values, metrics. So now if I wanted to analyze by profit, I can keep the profit here. If I wanted to analyze the discount, I can remove this one. I can keep the discount. So I wanted to see by sales, I can remove this discount and I can see the sales. So this is how we can see this 9,995 rows. Now it has been converted into 20 rows, 22 rows. So this is very simple to analyze the data. So pivot table is used for aggregating or summarizing the data. Okay, by dimension values. So now let me try. So what are the options of pivot tables we have? Let me try. So now region wise data. I wanted to see the region wise data, region wise profit. So I can draw region wise. This is sales, region wise sales. Now my format is like this. I'm keeping in rows. Now I wanted to see in columns. Let us see how we have. So see, similarly we have in columns. You can keep it in rows or you can keep it in columns. So if you have large number of criteria, suppose you see here city, this is very simple to analyze city. You can just drag this one and you can see how many cities are there. But similarly, if you keep this city in the columns, if you see keep the city in the column, it is very difficult. See here, you have to scroll like this. So which is very tough. When you have a large number of items, you try to keep that in a rows. Okay, which is very simple to analyze. Next. So let us see the formattings of pivot table. Let us see the formatting of pivot table. I'll take an example of pivot table. I'll take an example of pivot table and let us do the formattings in pivot table. So team, today we are going to do only pivot tables and charts. Okay. Let me open an example and see. So team, I'm just downloading one Excel sample Excel file. Just please hold on. So this is Excel exam we have. Let me only for pivot tables. This is only for pivot tables. So this is version of 2010 and 2017 to 2007 and 2010. But if you don't have, you ignore this one. Okay. You can work in 2013 and 2016 also, but the changes by light changes, there might be small changes. Okay. So first let me close this previous Excel. So now we are working on pivot table and pivot table properties and pivot table formatting and pivot table formatting. So first we have the expenses sheet. This is the data sheet they have given us. This is the data sheet they have given us. So let me zoom it for you.
Bharat,
Yes. Hello.
there is a slight disturbance in your voice.
Team, everyone are facing the same problem.
No, sir.
Mm. Team, can you please confirm? Like
No, sir.
it's fine, right?
It's fine, Bharat.
Yeah,
It's fine, sir.
okay,
Sir,
team,
it's
if you have problem, you can log off and log in back. Okay. Okay. So now if you learn this sheet, if you practice these 26 questions for the pivot tables, you'll have a good better knowledge. You'll have a better knowledge on pivot tables. So I told you pivot table is for summarization of data. So now the first thing, we have the data here. For this data, they have given the questions here. These are the questions for this data, for the expenses sheet data. So they are telling to open the expenses sheet and note all the columns headings and note that one of the column heading is blank. So if you open the expenses sheet, if you see here, one of the columns heading is blank. So this column heading is blank. So if the column headings are blank, you will not be able to draw a pivot table. So see here, let me go to insert pivot table. Okay. So I have to draw it from A4 actually. New worksheet. So what is it throwing? It is throwing an error. The pivot table field name is not valid. To create a pivot table report, you must use the data in an organized way, table way. So see here, this column is blank because the pivot, we are unable to draw the pivot table. So what you have to do is you have to draw you have to draw you have to keep the column names without blank. So open the Excel sheet and note all the column head, one of the column headings is blank. Okay, we have seen we will not be able to create a pivot table which includes all the data of expenses sheet if the one of the field name that need to be used in on the pivot table is blank. So select the cell F4 and following header as tax code. They're asking to give the tax code. Tax code. They're asking to make the name as tax code. Okay. Next. The first question is done. So team, I'm going to give you the same assignment for practice. Okay. Next. Insert the data on the expenses sheet. Insert the data on the expenses sheet into Excel table. If the source data of the pivot table is included in an Excel table, you will not have to edit the source cell range when a new additional data is into expansion. So the second question is they're asking, this is range. Range means a group of cells. They're asking to convert this into a table. So table have some specific properties. So suppose I have this month and month number. So Jan I have 1, Feb 2. So this is range. This is normal range. If I convert this into table, how do I convert the table? Means I can format it as table here. I can format it as table, or else I can press Control T. Control T is a shortcut for the table. Okay. So my table has a headers. Okay. So see here. Now table colors is the table colors is changed. So table has some specific properties. Okay.